So next is ADMET parameter. So ADMET, we can call it a in silico pharmacokinetics, okay, where we analyze the property of compound or a drug molecule, okay. So basically the drug likeness nature would be analyzed over here, and it falls on the property based drug designing. I've already told you, in case of property based drug designing, we will be examining the property of the compound molecules, where we will be screening their broader ADMET parameters, okay, to consider them as a drug molecule into the further screening. So any kind of molecule, any kind of compound molecules or any other molecules is considered as a drug, okay, considered as a drug once it fulfill different guideline values, okay. There has been given different guideline values for a compound to be considered as a drug. Actually ADMET parameters are analyzed for orally administered drug only, because FDA had approved that, or FDA had said that orally administered oral administration is the best route, or oral route are the best route for drug administration, and it is most active, or you can say most reliable, or you can say most followed method as well. So in case of any kind of molecules to be considered as a drug, they have given different you can say guideline values. Among them, Lipinski rule of 5 is one of them. So it has 5 different guideline value. If any kind of compound or drug molecules follow Lipinski rule of 5, then they are considered as a drug. So once the compound has this kind of parameters fulfilled, then you can consider that as a drug molecule, or you can say drug like molecules. Actually not a drug, but drug like molecule, okay. You can screen both the compounds as well as drug, because there are a lot of mutations, there are a lot of different kind of variations, or you can say a lot of other, we can say MDR or whatever things, okay. So you need to equally screen the compounds as well as drug. So drug repurposing are quite parallelly done in this world because of different kind of toxicity or any kind of environmental factor, okay. So you need to screen, we can easily screen the drug as well, okay, for their effectiveness. So in case of Lipinski rule of 5, you can see there are 5 different parameters where compound or any drug molecules needs to be followed to consider as a drug like nature, okay. So first guideline value is it should have less than 5 hydrogen bond donor. Next is less than 10 hydrogen bond acceptor needs to be there. Molecular weight needs to be less than 500 Daltons. The lipophilicity value should not be above 5, and molar refractivity should to be between 40 to 130, okay. So if a compound molecule has this parameter fulfilled, then you can consider that compound as a drug like in nature, okay. So it will just give a drug likeness nature. The broader parameters or broader ADMET parameters needs to be studied further, okay. So ADMET stands for absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, and toxicity of the drug, okay. They are very vital parameters for pharmacokinetic study. So you can see the figure over here at the right hand side. So absorption that take place in the erythrocyte or enterocyte, sorry, or small intestine as well. So distribution, it happens throughout the body. Metabolism, it particularly focused on liver. So liver is a great site for metabolism. Cytochrome are present over there, okay. So next is excretion. Excretion, the major excretory part of we can say drug is kidney, and that is how the ADMET process runs into our body. So now let's talk about in silico pharmacokinetics, where we can use different tools for in silico pharmacokinetics prediction, or you can say ADMET prediction. So you can use Swiss ADME for ADMET prediction. You can use FAB-DROG4 or multiple other tools for ADMET prediction, okay. I personally recommend using Swiss ADME and PKCSM. So Swiss ADME is used for analyzing the drug likeness nature of any kind of compound molecule, and PKCSM, it calculates the broader, you can say quantitative, the quantitative analysis would be done through PKCSM. It calculates all of the basic you can say parameters of ADMET, okay, so parameters involved in ADMET, and you can easily analyze that compound or your experimental drug as well, okay. So that is these are the online tools, okay, you can easily use it. So Swiss ADME and PKCHM are both online tools. You do not need to download them. They are not the software. Okay, you can easily do it.